The classic story of the alien versus the beast. Tale as old as time. Vicky screeches and she whines. Intergalactic beauty and the native beast. I'm John Recton with my review of AEW Dynamite in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And this also featured a lot of hype packages for the debut of Rampage, also in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania this Friday. Now, they've got 3 title matches lined up for the debut of Rampage. I just can't help but do that because I watch a lot of Archer. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do going forward. It's an extra hour on Turner Network Television, and they're really trying to make this fucking thing work, and I hope the ratings are really goddamn good. Now, going forward, hopefully on Dynamite and on Rampage, they feature some, showcases. Like, give us a reason to care about these various talents, these people that they brought on. It's like, okay, why should we care about them? Oh, this is their backstory? Really good. They were doing the showcases on Dark Elevation, then they suddenly stopped doing that. You have Paul White, Mark Henry, JR, Shivani. Have Excalibur sit down. He knows some of these people. Utilize your announcers. Do that kind of stuff. Taz knows some of these people. Just do that kind of stuff. That's all I ask. Do some more video packages and showcases and stuff like that. Don't have so many matches go on way too long. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, because boy, am I going to have some criticisms. I will have some praise, but I'm not going to lie to you. This show was just kind of there. There were times where the crowd was really into some of this stuff, and there were times where they were kind of muted. So the Terrible Towels are out, and JR stumbles, pitching to a pre-tape with MJF and Wardlow. He spits in the face of people who do... Oh, I'm sorry. He just has an apple. He's talking with his mouth full. I had a few exes who were really good at that. Always delete your search history, by the way. And he was trying to make this work because Wardlow is taking on Jericho in the 4th labor of Jericho. And oh boy, was Jericho laboring during that fucking match. I'm still better than you, and you know it. And Wardlow says, I'll definitely beat him. And he's like, like you beat Cody in the cage? Just get the job done. And then he crushes the apple. Okay. So they're teasing once again that MJF and Wardlow may possibly split up, because they were teasing that at one point, and then they totally stopped doing that because, 1, the pandemic hit, and 2, they realized, yeah, that probably isn't a good idea since we just had Wardlow debut and had, a couple matches. So anyway, we have Dante Martin and the Sydal brothers, Matt and Mike, against Omega and the Bucks, the Elite, the Elite. That's all I got to fucking say about that. I know there are fans of the Elite that watch my channel. That's fine. You guys can like the Elite all you goddamn well want. There's acting like heels, and then there's acting. And they're just acting. They're acting badly. Really badly. Nakazawa and Cutler were there. And unfortunately, Callis is on commentary. And good fucking grief. He's a nuisance. He's just... It's almost impossible to, objectively watch a match that he is calling, because there's being a heel commentator, and he just is overbearing to the point where it's like, it's not benefiting anybody. Like, he's just being an overbearing jackass. Where Shivani's doing the best he can, Excalibur's doing the best he can, JR is clearly getting annoyed quite often here. And next week they'll be in Houston. Cool, that's going to be interesting. Maybe Paul Bosch's ghost will hang over that and say, book this show better. We know his goddamn ears would be hanging overhead, because holy shit, him and Wally Carbo could have had an ear off and the world would have been split in 2. Anyway, let's move on from that. The Elite... Look, they got their fans, they can do some stuff, but they aren't nearly as good as far as, the comedy and everything, and they're just acting like heels, and it's not very entertaining. I will say right now that Matt Sydal is quite good, and Mike is what he is. He knows his role. He's there basically to take the pins. If one thing got over with me in this match, it was Dante Martin flying around like crazy. They gave him a lot of shit. He was doing a whole lot of stuff. He got a huge pop when he got the hot tag. He... The beautiful Hurricanrana outside, did a moonsault for 2, melee, of course, Omega just being ridiculous, jazz hands and all that. But Omega can hit some moves. He just can't hit him nearly as good as he thinks he can, because he may be the world's greatest wrestling artist, but he certainly isn't the best wrestler. Not even fucking close. That's my opinion. I'm fucking sticking to it. So anyway, the Sephiroth special got dodged, and then he hits the V-trigger, and then One Wing Angel, no, the BTV trigger. There we go. That's a lot of goddamn words there. And gets the victory. Okay, fine, whatever. Dante Martin got to shine here, and it was what it was. Then Shivani is here to interview Callis, the Elite, and Callis cuts him off and everything, and then... Well, here's Christian and Jurassic Express out to a pop, especially because they're playing Tarzan Boy, and the crowd loves Tarzan Boy, and that's going to get Jungle Boy more over than his promos will. Callis tries to shout over the CM Punk chance as they come back from break. If they don't have CM Punk locked down and ready to show up at that, at least in a video package or something, in that Rampage. I believe it's Rampage next week, in Chicago. They are fucked. Those fans will be goddamn pissed. So Christian then calls him a carny piece of shit, and actually then calls him a carny jagoff, because that's a saying in Pittsburgh apparently. So it's Cage versus Omega at All Out, and the crowd boos because, no offense, they want to see Hangman versus Omega, but Hangman and his wife, I believe, are expecting a kid. Maybe they feel they can nurse this thing along until Full Gear. Hopefully they can. Maybe they can. We'll see. I'm not going to just shit on everything right away, but Cage versus Omega, I think it'll be fine, but they're going to give them that title, or they're going to give them that match on Rampage for the Impact Championship. Remember that championship that actually used to mean something? I mean, I understand what they're trying to do, but they're already giving us this match, and it's probably going to end in shenanigans because it's only an hour-long show. It's going to be the first match in Rampage history, but I don't know. And then Omega keeps shouting, and then Jungle Boy says, oh, by the way, Bucks, we're facing you next week, because we talked to Tony Khan, because Tony Khan's name got dropped about 50 million times during this, which is almost equal to the amount of blow that he fucking did. Let's hear it for the Herb Abrams diet. And then, oh God. Whew, boy, and then Omega kept shouting and stuff like that. And Malachi says he's not the bad guy in this situation, and that, seeing that you have one foot in the grave, Cody, and he holds the boot up, allow me to put the other one there. And he basically is going to take anyone out when he sees fit. And then Rhodes to the top plug. Yes, it's the, it's the Miz TV version of, with Brandy and Cody, and my God, it looks like absolute dog shit. Fucking hell. This looks so fucking bad. I mean, good on them if they want to try to be TV stars. I have no desire to fucking watch that show, so no, I will not be reviewing that. And then Miro is facing Fuego del Sol on Rampage, and Fuego del Sol gets a contract if he beats Miro. At least I believe I got that right. And this is the word of the Reamer. I'm sorry, the Redeemer, but it's funnier to say the Reamer. If they brought Miro in like this to begin with, I would have been a lot happier. Now, yeah, they're doing better, but this is how they should have used Miro in the beginning. This is the kind of badass he can be. It's not that him playing video games is a bad thing, but this is how you should bring him in, because he's an ass kicker. He's in great shape. He can cut these kind of badass promos and have these kind of matches. They're starting to wash the stink off. It's just hopefully they can get, him shined up real nice and then turn that. No, I'm kidding. We get Darby with Sting versus Daniel Garcia with 2.0. Big pop for Darby and Sting. They are really trying with this Daniel Garcia guy. I'm not too familiar with him, but he's impressed me in the couple matches he's had. He has some good attitude. Really nice submission work by him. Even trapped Darby in a rear naked choke when Darby tried the coffin drop off the ropes. That was beautifully done. He's like a slinky, JR says, referring to Darby. And then coffin drop, 1, 2, 3. And then, well, Sting in 2.0 fights. So basically they need about 5 more guys to make it, even. Because even Sting at 62 and not giving a fuck still would have the numbers advantage. And they battle a little bit, and Darby battles with them, and that was it. Then we cut to the Death Triangle, who won Andrade, but Pac says, I'll handle him. You guys go after the tag team championships. You guys go that way. I'll go home. And then Pac tells him, well, I was like, you really, I don't know. Do you really think that, we're going to let you split us apart? No, we are together. We are united. Oh boy, I just don't fucking care. I'm sorry. And I like Pac, and I like Andrade, and I like the Lucha Bros, but they got way too many factions and all this shit like going around. Where is my mind? It's with Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta and Chuck Taylor with Chris Statlander. Good grief, Chris Statlander. Versus Matt Hardy, Private Party with the Hardy Family Orifice. Look, congratulations to Matt and Rebby on expecting their 5th child, but seriously, they have enough to almost have their own baseball team at this point. Well, they probably will end up having enough to have their own baseball team by the time, we get to 2023, because it's just going to be like, the Who's down in Whoville. No. Anyway, Matt, at one point, Cassidy put Matt's hand in his pocket. Yeah, okay, great, I'm out. I know people like Orange Cassidy, and people pop for it, and that's fine. It didn't work for me. I also have no desire to watch Matt Hardy in a wrestling ring in 2021. He can be a manager. He can't fucking move anymore. When will this end is what I wrote down during this. Also, remember when Private Party fucking mattered? Why does Isaiah scream so goddamn much? Wheeler Yuta's quite good. Nyla blindsides Chris Statlander while Statlander's distracted by the bunny. To be fair, we would all be distracted by the bunny. And we get a twist of fate, and that pins Wheeler Yuta 1, 2, 3. Okay, life goes on. Andrade is then interviewed by Dasha, who Dasha just basically was just standing there, doing the stuff, and Chavo shouted, and I don't care. This is better than Vicky and Andrade, but it's not much better. Santana and Ortiz are coming for blood. And Cash already bled plenty, so maybe we will get that match at All Out. I don't know. They're getting this thing along, so hopefully Cash is going to be all right. But that looked pretty goddamn deadly. I like the fact, though, they're doing video packages, and they're trying to keep this feud going. Statlander with the best alien friends took on Nyla Rose with Vicky. So we get a big bitch battle. Tale as old as time and everything, as I said in the intro. We get a pounds, period, from Nyla Rose. Vicky screaming at Orange Cassidy, who later does this with his ears. So that was funny, I'll admit that. And Area 451 eventually 1, 2, 3. Statlander gets the victory. The match wasn't bad. It was just a little bit weird. Some of the spots were weird, like Statlander did a standing moonsault off the apron and then got choke slammed on the apron. And it was what it was. Statlander gained the victory, though. Okay. I mean, fine. Nyla really hasn't meant much of anything because they build her up for a little bit. She squashes a bunch of, enhancement talents, and then she loses a big match. So that's kind of where she is in her role. And Statlander challenging Britt isn't the worst thing in the world. So, and then we get, oh boy, god damn it. Get the fucking Bucks doing more basketball shit, and Jurassic Express blindsides them. Oh, that's a foul. They're trying to do more comedy. The Bucks are not funny, as Being the Elite has shown. And I know some people like it, and that's fine if you do. I've tried watching it, and I hate it. It just isn't for me. So, pre-tape with Red Velvet on her match with Britt, and she said that she's had to prove herself, and that she will show what she can do at Rampage. Shivani then interviews Britt to a big pop, DMD chants, the Britt towels are out, the terrible towels are out, and Red Velvet gets mentioned, and the crowd boos. So I bleed black and gold, and hey, I know it's been a tough year, but here, Pittsburgh, this is hope, and, she's got the outfit on, she's got the title, all this, and then Red Velvet suddenly runs in, and the crowd boos, and the referees are instantly there to break it up. They pick and choose when they do that stuff. But hey, Britt's over. She's going to obviously retain at Rampage. It'd be really stupid. No disrespect to Red Velvet. It'd be really stupid if they switch the title there. Pre-tape of Starks and Cage are going to have a match on Dynamite next week. Whoop-de-doo. I like Starks, but I don't really care about Cage. And we have Uno and Grayson with Colt Boom Boom Cabana against the Good Brothers, home of the Good Brothers. Maybe we take your order with Brandon Colt, Ray Cutler, Impact Tag Team Championships. Scott D'Amore on commentary. Not Coach Scott D'Amore from Team Canada. Nope, this is Scott D'Amore, the Impact executive. Jumpstart by the Dark Order Cutler and Colt bullshit and Kazarian attacks and everything. And I'm sorry. Whenever the Good Brothers, home of the Good Brothers, maybe take your order, are in a match, I tune out. It is not that they aren't good. They're comedy shit. I don't care when I see them on television. And again, they're part of the Elite. And again, that is all I gotta fucking say about the Elite. Because, by the way, this was cooler when the Clique and also the NWO did it. Factions that were infinitely better than the Elite / Bullet Club will ever fucking be. So anyway, and I don't care how many talents there have been in those respective groups. Stand by that. So anyway, you kids get off my lawn. So, just god damn it. The match is fine. Get out of here with that stuff. Like they're getting everybody out. It's like, they got Cutler out and they're doing the cold spray thing, and it's so goddamn fucking damn it. I'm sure Cutler's a nice guy, but this is such stupid shit. It's so fucking bad. They do a whole bunch of moves and everything. There was a nice 450 into a near fall, and again, the Dark Order aren't a bad team. I just didn't believe for a second they were going to win tag team championships that used to mean something. When Beer Money, the Motor City Machine Guns, America's Most Wanted, Triple X, and teams like that held them. But no, the Good Brothers, home of the Good Brothers, maybe take your order, are holding championships for a company that hasn't really meant all that much in a number of years. And I feel bad saying that because they have talent, but they are what they are. They're never going to be able to wash the stink of TNA away or the stink of those bad few years. And unfortunately, the new talents are going to suffer for it. So eventually they get a Magic Killer 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. Life goes on. So we do a pre-tape with Camille, the current NWA Women's Champion, talking about legit Layla Hirsch. She is the underdog. She's going to beat her at NWA Empower. That's going to be interesting. I already pre-ordered the double packet or the bundle of that and NWA 73rd. And Shivani is awaiting QT's apology. He says, oh, by the way, we're apologizing for what we're about to do. Sends Nick Camarado to get Shivani's son. They beat him up. And then suddenly, Paul White shows up because everybody was apparently hankering for Paul White to get back in the ring. I wasn't. And he choke slams Aaron Solo. Cool. Yay. Anyway, so Rampage has Omega and Cage, Miro and Fuego del Sol, and Britt versus Velvet. Okay, have some showcase packages, do some good stuff, and that'll be a pretty good hour of television. And then Dynamite has the Bucks and Jurassic Express. Spears versus Guevara, plus a major announcement. Could it be that maybe somebody other than Tony Khan is going to book this show? Hopefully somebody with a brain. Sting and Darby taking on 2.0 in a tornado tag. Okay, good. They can pin them both at the same time. And then Wardlow with MJF versus Jericho. I could have swore that MJF originally said he was going to be the referee, but whatever. Fourth labor. Good fucking grief. Jericho was goddamn... Jericho, even if you put aside the fact that he donated a whole bunch of money to Donald Trump and his wife and mother-in-law were part of the insurrection attempt, on January 6th, and he's a goddamn piece of shit and a goddamn washed-up has-been and a hypocrite for saying that, the WCW guys, the main event guys wouldn't get out of the way so the younger guys could rise up and look what he's fucking doing here. He's a goddamn hypocrite and he's a goddamn idiot. Even if you take all that personal stuff aside, as a wrestler, he hasn't been able to do jack shit for years. It's at least for the last, I would say, year and a half. Ever since he lost the championship, and even before that, he was starting to flounder. And I'm not talking about the Little Mermaid character. He can't go anymore. Kept pulling up his goddamn tights. MJF was trying to do some stuff. He does rake Jericho's eyes when Jericho tried to do the walls of Jericho. He tries to get in while the referee's distracted. Aubrey catches him, kicks him out. And then Jericho gets Floyd the Bat Barber and hits him in the head. Hits Wardlow in the head while the referee's distracted. Hits the juice effect. 1, 2, 3. And then Spears and Sammy run in, and then Wardlow runs in, and Hager runs in, not a moment too late. He's storming the cap. I mean the ring. He's storming the ring. Hager is not, Proud Boy Hager. Oh, wait, yes, he is. Another piece of shit. So anyway, the fifth labor is no juice effect, no juice theme, and I'm better than you, and you know it. And that show was it. That was it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.